In just one part of Africa, a missionary estimates he needs more than 100,000 pets for those who can't walk.
A PET is a hand-powered cart. In Vietnam, more than 6,000 people are on a waiting list for some form of mobility. In tonight's Sarah's Story, we take you to Danang, Vietnam, where the PET Project of Colombia is putting mercy in motion.
In poor countries, it's not uncommon to see a double amputee try to walk. They use little blocks of wood, pieces of scrap metal, tree branches, anything to help hold them up. But when you put mercy in motion, the PET provides much more than just mobility.
It's just going to be wonderful. I don't have to crawl through the mud anymore when it rains.
It is not right that fellow human beings are forced to crawl on the ground.
In the United States, this man would have a wheelchair. But in Vietnam, one of the world's poorest countries, Thuong Nguyen had to learn to walk without legs. This father of 6 works as a shoe repairman.
This is the way how they fix his shoes.
He mends worn sandals, though he has no shoes of his own. Thuong lost both legs and the use of an index finger during a landmine explosion in the Vietnam War.
Since 1968, he's been crawling around, doing the best that he can.
Thuong doesn't make enough money to begin to cover the cost of a wheelchair. So in place of legs, he uses 2 wooden stools.
I think it's very hard for any of us to realize what it is to live without legs, to crawl on the ground. It is not right that fellow human beings are forced to crawl on the ground all their lives, perhaps, simply because they stepped on a landmine somebody else planted, simply because they got polio that was not their fault, simply because they have a leg handicap that they had nothing to do with. It's only right that they should receive the best possible appropriate mobility that we can give them.
These pets are really designed to go where there aren't any roads.
The PET project started more than a decade ago in Colombia. Now shops around the world build and assemble these 3-wheeled, hand-cranked carts. They're called PETs. Personal energy transportation.
This one lady was so grateful, and she said, you know, it's just going to be wonderful. I don't have to crawl through the mud anymore when it rains. And another lady said, yeah, I don't have to crawl over the sharp rocks and get all cut up.
At today's distribution, they're giving away wheelchairs and pets. Now, the pets are popular in part because of this compartment right here. It allows women in Africa to carry water, or perhaps they can carry vegetables to market, maybe even store a shoe shine kit. So the PET provides not only mobility, but profitability as well.
Providing mobility is life transforming. Just because these folks have difficulties traveling does not mean that they don't have tremendous mental skills, entrepreneurial skills, but you cannot express those. There's just virtually no hope, no ability because of the physical impairment.
This man's not able to walk on his own, but he sells lottery tickets. This PET means he no longer has to drag himself through puddles to get to his customers. And thanks to volunteers in mid-Missouri, Thuong doesn't have to crawl through the streets to deliver shoes. After nearly 40 years of walking with stools, a gift.
Give them some dignity, some pride, some hope.
Hope for Thuong and the millions like him, that by putting mercy in motion, time no longer stands still.
That was KOMU's Sarah Hill and videographer Scott Schaefer. It costs the PET Project of Colombia $250 to build, assemble, and ship a single PET. Some area churches and vacation Bible school programs are already raising money to send the carts overseas. If you'd like more information, you can check out the Sarah's Story page at KOMU.com. And a reminder to join Sarah for a special half-hour broadcast on the world's mobility problem. Mercy in Motion from Vietnam will air on KOMU March 8th at 6:30.